Hey Pisceans, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your Maven through Samhain seasonal general reading here. Just a quick note, while in the Northern Hemisphere, we are looking at the period of the autumnal equinox, September 22nd through Samhain season, up through or really until we get to Yule. And even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the same messages, just different sides of the same coin. So as we in the North are welcoming the coming of the darkness, you in the South are welcoming the return of the light. It's the same messages, they're counterpoints on the wheel. You can just take those to heart and then, translate them for yourself based on where you are in the world. So let's get right into your meditation. So I saw I wish I knew the technical term for this. It was like a old time carriage where not like Edwardian carriage, but like pioneer carriage with like the old wooden wheel and spoke and, going down the dirt road, like definitely pre-industrial revolution, like pioneer. And I saw this, wagon rolling along this dirt road, and I saw it like there was this, you know what it was? It was an image from this other deck I have next to me, the Akashic Tarot, and I'm going to look for it while I tell you about it. There was like a general store type deal on the side of the road. And it was very, of that period, it was very, everything made by hand, wooden with herbs, hanging to dry, and just a very quaint, old time, charming looking general store on the side of the road. And you as the Piscean collective were in this wagon, kind of trudging along. You had somewhere to be. And I saw you guys kind of pass up this general store. And then just kind of heading down the road. And I saw you pause, like, should I pass this up or could there be something in there for me? And I saw you get a little bit further down the road. And then this, which is one of my favorite animals, this black-footed African cat, which is, I think, is the smallest of all of the predatory wildcats. I think it's really, really lovely if you want to look it up. The black-footed African cat kind of went into your path and stopped you. It was like, oh, I got to pause for this cat. Here it is. The wish is fulfilled. This is what I saw in the meditation. It kind of looked like this, but more of a storefront, or it was like all wooden and there was a bunch of fruit and, bread and things hanging to dry and bottles of wine and cider. It was just very that vibe, right? We'll keep this here. So this African cat was kind of keeping you from moving forward. And so you thought, well, okay, I'm not going to make this cat move. So let me just get out of the wagon and just wait. When you did that, I saw the cat run behind and go and jump on top of the general store and just sit there and look at you. And then I saw you kind of walk towards the general store and go, oh my God, like, I can't believe I almost passed this by. This is kind of what I've been looking for. I didn't know that this was what I was looking for, but sometimes you got to see something to know that you were looking for it in the first place. It's like, I didn't know I was missing this, but now I can't unknow it. It was kind of like that feeling. So really interesting meditation. The primary message that I want you guys to take away from this is be prepared for things to show up differently than how you would imagine. You could miss an opportunity or not see something's value based on the way in which it arrives or the time that it arrives in or the shape that it takes. Because you had somewhere to be, right? It felt like you were going in a particular direction and you were like, oh, I should stop there. But no, I got somewhere to be. But I think there's something important in the fact that it was like a pioneer wagon. Because if you were racing along in a modern day car, you wouldn't have even barely seen it on the side of the road. But I feel like there's something about speed and pacing and getting to where you're going. Can you take a slower, more, easygoing approach? Can you be on a road trip where the journey is just as important as the destination, if not more important, so that you have time to notice these things as they arise in your path? That imagery of the general store is wishes fulfilled. I feel like there's something that is so perfect for you that is going to show up either in a time or in a way or a shape, like I said, that you could maybe miss it for what it actually is, which is fascinating, actually. Um, so your animal energy for this time period is the nightingale, which is beautiful. It's such a lovely energy, air energy. Um, the nightingale is like Queen of Swords energy, where it's about having a really well working editing system within for yourself, being able to really discern very clearly what to say yes to, what to say no to. It's not personal, it's business, just being very pragmatically minded. But this is also about using your voice and speaking up and linking in with the truth of something and understanding that it is what you say, but oftentimes it's really more about how you say it. So this links in with how you communicate, your messaging system, and also how you allow others to communicate with you. I think there's something in you from a soul perspective that I feel like it's like you're very focused on something, whether this is work or a certain path you're on. But there's another part of you that's going like, could we just like, take a breath? Could we just take a moment and, you know, maybe not go on a full vacation, but can we just open it up a bit so that I can be available for happenstance? Can I be available for spontaneity? That's what it feels like to me. Honor that if that rings true for you going through this period. Honor that. There's something about that. It's like, oh, you know what? I was going to, do all these errands today. I was going to do this, had to do this, but turn to, if you have a partner, turn to your partner and say, you know what? I know we're going to do all this today, but I'm really feeling like taking a drive and looking at the foliage change. I want to look at the trees change. Let's just go somewhere we've never been before. That is the universe communicating to you that there is something for you that's falling outside of your plan. And you could miss it if you don't honor that nudge. Okay, just as an example, it is important. So you are coming through as the Hangman in reverse. Now, this is really, normally it looks like this. So really fascinating. The Hangman is such a beautiful energy. I think that, especially with this bat imagery here, it's really perfect for this time of year as well. Welcoming the darkness, right? The Hanged Man is really about taking time out. And that feels like such a theme for you, I must say. It feels like, can we slow it down? Can we have a more relaxed and open approach? Can you let things come to you? Is the question. Can you let things come to you? Because there's something in that if you can, is going to just be incredibly rewarding, like this wish is fulfilled situation. This is taking time out, having a stalemate moment in order to flip your perspective or see something differently, right? This is being able to slow down long enough to recognize an opportunity. Now, this came in reverse. So this can show a certain level of impatience or a certain fixedness around a certain path ahead or a plan or something. I'm picking up on maybe a fear of failure if there's something or some disappointment with yourself if you don't hit certain marker points or you don't have a certain thing come to fruition. This could really be anything. It could definitely be your work. It could also be parts of your health and life where you're like, no, I have certain like goals to meet. I have certain markers I want to meet or hit. Try to go a bit easier on yourself. There is something coming in here that goes, okay, that's great. You have time, right? But there are some things that are wanting to come into your path that you got to slow down long enough to even recognize it for what it is. It's kind of like going into like a antique shop and, there's something on sale for like dollars, but you take another look at it, Google it on your phone and find out that it's worth like, 80 times that. It's only because you took the time to like slow down and get curious about it, right? Think about that. So your advice here is really, really beautiful. And I do feel like it's linking up with your challenge. So your challenge is 5 of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles, which is interesting. 5 of Cups is about perspective, right? 5 is the number of change. When this is coming in as your place of challenge, it means that we need to shift our perspective a little bit and reconsider, maybe change out our measuring stick about how we measure success or how we measure our own happiness. And really, I keep hearing it. Go easier on yourself. Go easier on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't just go. You're doing really, really well. Go easy on yourself. I keep hearing that. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is interesting too, because this is dreaming big. This is thinking big. This is a new home. This is a new job. This is an influx of money. This is wanting to level up your situation financially. This is wanting to have, oodles in the bank so that you don't even have to think about it. This is that, getting engaged, moving on a new path. Remember, the pentacles are about our physical experience, our health, our house, our finances, all of those things. So the fact that there's some sadness, some focus on what isn't working with the Five of Cups as opposed to what is, with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like something is not living up to what you hoped or expected, either around you, this could be someone around you, or yourself. I'm hearing just go easy on yourself. Everything is happening is exactly as it's meant to, Pisces. Remember, things don't always show up in the way or the time in which we think, but it's always right on time. It's always in perfect form. The only thing that clashes up against that is our expectations of something. Try to suspend those expectations and then you watch what happens. Okay? What happens? Page of Cups is your advice. So this is beautiful. This is you in your most innocent and childlike form. This is about remembering what you do where you feel like a kid again. What do you do when the time flies? What do you do that really makes your heart just sing with joy, right? This is your advice. Children are such a beautiful example of how to move through the world and be in the present moment. A child would have never passed up that general store on the side of the road. And the fact that they would have been pointing out the window, like, pull over, I see, I want to look at that. What's that? Do they have ice cream or whatever it is? And it's the adult in us that goes, no, we got somewhere to be. You know what I mean? So your advice is to be the Page of Cups here. I think that there's another aspect to this as well, where that African black-footed cat, that's the smallest predator cat there is, I believe, right? And so the fact that it was like a little form, like a baby looking form of like a, animal energy there is really, really fascinating. So you're having that, young at heart, return to young self where time is suspended. And what would you do if time and money were no object is pretty much your advice here. And your place of victory is Three of Swords in reverse. So in the upright, this is about heart pain, right? The swords rule the realm of the mind. So it's about how we think and the way that our mind moves. And it's about, a lot of the anxiety and pain that we inflict upon ourselves, right? But Three of Swords, this is about, the past usually. This is about clearing ourselves of things that have hurt us previously. The fact that this is coming in the reverse for you in your place of victory, this just makes a lot of sense to me, because it's that sense of, or that feeling of, go easy on yourself. The best remedy for Three of Swords, I would say, is Page of Cups, right? It's like meeting yourself with that unconditional love that you would show a child that you love. That's what it is. Go easy on yourself and go easy on others, right? And there's healing. There's healing at hand for you. There's something around this just feels incredibly liberating and healing, and it's beautiful. So in your place of victory, we have the Two of Wands. So, or outcome rather, your victory is Three of Swords in reverse. Your outcome is Two of Wands. So this is really interesting, because Two of Wands, remember, the wands are about the actions that we do or don't take around the work that we do, our purpose, or what really makes us passionate, right? This is us living, actively living our purpose. So with the Two of Wands coming up, the two is about planning. It's about being still. It's about a stalemate. It's about making sure the foundation is right so that you can move forward ahead. I think that this is such perfect and brilliant outcome for you, because this is a position of strength. This may be, a planning point before the Three of Wands happens and you're, shooting ahead, but your foundation is strong. You know who you are, you know what you want, you're feeling at ease with yourself, and you feel detached from any particular outcome, which means that you're going to manifest your highest and best, right? From that place of detached trust. Say it 3 times. So you got 2 Maven oracles here, because you're overachievers. So you got the Toad. Observe, for those who watch, see all. Observe, for those who watch, see all. This oracle in particular speaks about slowing down and allowing things to come to you, taking a more laid back approach to what you're manifesting, your life in general, right? Toad is very much about detoxification, right? Like frog. It's about allowing yourself, especially as a Pisces, to let those emotions just run through you, connect with them, and allow yourself to also experience the light side of those emotions and really celebrate your deep heart and celebrate your feelings and celebrate your ability to connect with not just you, but humanity in such a deep way. Humanity, there's, there's a lot going on, especially in the States, but all over the world, definitely. But in the States, during the time period in which we're looking at, we're going to be going through an election. There's going to be a lot of energy. And you as a Pisces are a natural empath. I'm sure you know, right? Which means you feel other people's feelings as you're on. It's a psychic ability, actually, right? So this is even more reason during this time to be gentle, go slow, and understand that you will very likely be picking up on things that are not even yours, that are part of the collective. They're part of the world that you're moving around in. So just take care, and take care to really detox yourself. Salt baths are wonderful. Whatever works for you. Lavender, rosemary under the pillow, stuff like that. Get general store about it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's going to help you tremendously to remember that, there's what you have going on, and then there's also, holding space for the fact that you are a natural receiver and giving yourself grace around that. So be patient with the time that you're in as well, okay? Now you also have the Witches Gathering number 2. Gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising, and all will be embraced. Yes, blessed be. I love it. This speaks to the power community about being around like-minded people and around coming together with a sole purpose and focus. I think that being around like-minded people, especially other people who feel as deeply as you do and hold your same worldview, is going to be incredibly medicinal. They can also help recharge your energy as well with what, if you get home at the end of the day and you feel drained, being around people that love you, who see the world as you do, who can make you laugh, can hold you in company, that is going to be incredibly recharging for you. So I'm hearing a big, definitely do that, right? Really beautiful. Also in these states, that's the time that, it's holiday time. You're going to be coming, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for that. So I like that for you very much. Now, your last oracle is your Samhain oracle. It says, greet the darkness. Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole, but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. Wow. So this is about shadow work. Greet the darkness. Look at what within you is acting as a block to, you manifesting your highest and best good. What within you wants to be looked at and seen. In order to do that, you've got to slow down long enough and be willing and curious, right? Non-judgmental, accepting, and then integrate everything that comes up for you, right? It's about bringing what's in your subconscious into the light of your consciousness so that you can co-create with it. Bring that shadow into your passenger seat instead of keeping it locked up in the trunk. That's what it is, right? I could talk a lot more about this. I will be talking a lot more about this as time goes on. That's a little hint to that opening trailer about something magical is coming. So you are in good company with this. A lot of the collective are going to be doing this shadow work now and moving in through the next while here in the age of Aquarius. So this is really important for you to do. But again, do this with gentleness. Again, that nightingale about using your voice, communicating, looking into that darkness, and then really understanding that the more grace that you can show yourself and others with every aspect of your experience right now, both whether that be the timing, the shape it takes, or how you're feeling, the better. And it's really, really beautiful, Pisces. Remember, connect with that Page of Cups, okay? There's a Page of Cups connecting to that Witches Gathering. Really, really stunning. I'm hearing that quote that I'm about to butcher. I can't remember who it's by, but it's like, you do without doing and everything gets done, okay? Just leave that with you. With that being said, Pisces, I so hope that this helps and resonates. Please let me know in the comments below. It's my absolute favorite part of this gig is connecting with you in the comments. I respond to every single one. I just adore it so, so much. How are you guys doing? I want to know, how are you feeling going into this season, especially those of you, in the States that are coming into a really interesting time here. Let me know. Please like, please share, please subscribe, all of those things. And just thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and stay tuned. There's some very cool things coming very, very soon. I'm excited to share with you. And with that being said, as always, and most of all, Pisces, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.